right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
A warm start to February. Why Thursday is the pick day of the next 10 and the part of the bi-state region that is more likely to see rain this weekend.
St. Louis children continue to fall victim to gun violence.
Talking about it is one thing, but doing something about it is another thing.
Tonight, the group of local students now pushing for change. Our top story, surveilling St. Louis neighborhoods. A business owner says he's ready to put drones in the air.
We want to be a good citizen of St. Louis.
His message to those who say, not over our backyards. Tonight, the owner of a private drone company says his drones will begin live streaming within the next 5 days. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Neighbors are against it, city leaders are against it, and yet the program is still moving forward. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski talked with the company's owner for the first time on camera tonight, Laura.
Mike and Kelly, the founder of SMS Novel Films, tells me he's not looking to invade anyone's privacy, but neighbors and Alderwoman Alicia Sanye are still weary. Founder of SMS Novel Films, Jomo Johnson, says his company's live streaming drone service will start with just 3 hours a day in various areas of the city of St. Louis on February 5th.
I do hope maybe an implicit goal of what we do is that it can cause awareness that if you are a criminal or have criminal motives, that you are being watched, that there's a capacity that you may be recognized.
St. Louis residents say they're worried about their privacy. Johnson says he's not trying to look into your windows.
So residents can see that ultimately these drones are going to be operating so high, it's not going to be near a home, it's not going to be in a person's backyard, it's not going to be an invasion of privacy.
But residents organizing against SMS Novel say, quote, St. Louisans don't want his surveillance drones in the sky, period. We trust Mayor Jones' administration will ensure these drones never take off, and we're eager for the Public Safety Committee to hear and pass Board Bill 199 to create sensible regulations of commercial drone activities for our city. Alderwoman Alicia Sanye says they're putting the finishing touches on the bill regulating commercial drones in the city after meeting with FAA consultants. She says city park rangers already stopped SMS Novel from flying over Forest Park earlier this month.
So whenever you're on a park and you want to do activity within a park, that's one of the areas that is regulated, and you do have to get a permit for activities.
How will this data and video that's collected be used?
That's a great question. I appreciate you asking that. So for our drone stream TV, the data is not saved, nor is it shared, or nor is it sold. It's simply live streamed.
Alderwoman Sanye says the city will be monitoring what happens if or when the drone streaming program is launched and enforce the laws like permit requirements where they're able to. And you can watch the entire interview with the founder of SMS Novel on KSDK.com.
A former police officer in North County is now accused of sexually assaulting 19 men he arrested or detained. A federal grand jury returned a new indictment today against Marcellus Blackwell, who worked for the North County Police Cooperative. He now faces 36 charges. Federal authorities believe there could be more victims. The FBI has set up a hotline, the number 314-589-2682.
New tonight, a man is in jail accused of murdering his own father and leaving his body in a bathtub. Prosecutors have charged Christian Long with second-degree murder. While performing a welfare check, police found the body of George Long inside a home on Hunter Avenue in Beverly Hills. Police say Christian Long admitted to striking his dad several times and then trying to clean his body in the tub. St. Louis teenagers who see and hear about gun violence every day are now putting their heads together to do their part, and they're taking their ideas to the state capitol. 5 on Your Side's Brent Solomon is live downtown to explain. Brent.
Well, we first told you about this gun safety initiative a year and a half ago. Tonight, we're tracking their next steps. Area teenagers fighting back against the forces they face when they're not behind these four walls. When flashing lights and police tape go up, far too many St. Louis teens have seen it before.
Like, you know, when people be saying, I have to do this to get out the trenches, you don't really have to do that. There's other ways to get out.
16-year-old Jalil Latchison attends Confluence Preparatory Academy downtown. He admits being familiar with the violence that plagues the community.
A bunch of people getting shot, all that stuff.
Do you feel like you've had some friends or people you met along the way that have kind of taken that path?
A lot.
So when a child can has an experience outside of school and they're able to come to school and express that and have a safe space to talk about it and to really talk about real solutions to help with how we might even resolve it, that speaks volumes.
Students here at Confluence Academies and at St. Louis Public Schools partnering with a gun safety initiative. Participants are called Ambassadors for Change. They've already distributed gun locks at school, and at a panel last May, they put their heads together to discuss how to do more.
And one of those ideas that was a really aha moment was really wanting to look into policy changing, looking how the policies that are created in the state of Missouri or even across the country affect them in their own communities.
Gun laws?
Gun laws, yes.
Now the ambassadors are preparing to take their message to Jefferson City to learn how to advocate for the changes they want.
Talking about it is one thing, but doing something about it is another thing.
School leaders also preparing to train students on how to become peer counselors of sorts, how to go into the classroom, speak to their own counterparts about steering clear of the violence. We're live in St. Louis tonight. Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
A Bridgeton woman is dead after a crash that shut down Interstate 70 in St. Charles County for several hours today. It happened around noon near Wentzville. Police say a semi-driver hit a car while changing lanes. The passenger in the car, 61-year-old Christine Schneider, died. Just a few miles west from there, we have learned MoDOT has pumped the brakes on a long-awaited fix to a dangerous stretch of I-70. MoDOT confirms the project to fix the curve near Wentzville Parkway is on hold. Construction was supposed to start this spring. The work is now being added to the larger Improve I-70 project from Warrenton to Wentzville. MoDOT expects to award a contractor this fall.
Tonight, Missouri Congresswoman Cori Bush was on national television defending herself against allegations that she misused campaign funds on personal security. The St. Louis Democrat is now under a Justice Department investigation. Public campaign finance records show Bush's campaign spent at least $756,000 on security since late 2019, with $102,000 going to her husband, Courtney Merritt's. Speaking to MSNBC's Joy Reid tonight, Bush said her husband stepped in after previous security details became unreliable.
He was an air assault soldier in the 101st Airborne. He had already worked for other companies working security, even as a supervisor. So this was in his wheelhouse.
St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones, a long political ally of Bush, came to her defense today, but stopped short of an endorsement for the Democratic primary.
Unless anybody knows what it's like to be an African-American woman in a powerful position and a single mom and have your life threatened on a daily basis, I support her providing security that she needs for herself and her family.
Bush is being challenged by St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell in the August primary. Mayor Jones says she has a process and will talk with both candidates in the near future. A week after warning employees that hours would be cut and layoffs were on the way, a Phelps County business owner says a social media post saved his business.
5 on your side's Holden Kerwicki traveled to St. James, Missouri to show us how the community is keeping the doors open at Country Bob's Diner.
Sitting halfway between St. Louis and Springfield on I-44, it's easy to find fast food in St. James. But it's a little more difficult if you want sit-down service.
We have the Country Cafe out by the golf course. We have Rich's Famous Burgers right there in the middle of town by the railroad tracks. And then you have Country Bob's Cafe.
Travis Holt bought Country Bob's Cafe in August of 2019.
I always wanted to do something with the community, and this allowed me to do that. And then 4 months later, COVID hit.
Despite the problems caused by the pandemic, he kept the doors open.
I wanted to make sure that all my people were taken care of. I didn't lay anybody off.
Holt says COVID cost him 50% of his business, but over the last year, a combination of road construction on the interstate and inflation took another bite out of his bottom line.
There was stuff that I had go up 300 or 400%. I mean, there was one time where I was paying $126 for a case of eggs, and I used to pay $11.
Struggling to make ends meet,
I was about to lose it all.
He posted an emotional plea on social media.
We don't have any business for breakfast. We don't have any business for lunch right now.
Right before I made that post, I told a couple people, you know, hey, just be prepared. I was already cut I told about 4 people that I was cutting their hours back.
The video quickly went viral, with multiple Phelps County businesses pledging portions of their proceeds to keep Country Bob's Diner afloat.
I woke up and just was in awe of the amount of support. And I was like, we are gonna be busy.
You ran out of food, right?
I ran out of food 3 days in a row. The bills that I was behind on are paid. To have that weight taken off of my shoulders when I've been carrying it for 4 years it's a blessing.
While Holt says he may never be able to appropriately thank everyone who helped save his business, he does plan to pay it forward by sponsoring a local Little League team, raising money for an all-inclusive playground in the city park, and of course, as always, kids are still able to eat free on Fridays. Reporting in St. James, Missouri, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
A public memorial is being planned for former U.S. Senator and Missouri First Lady Jean Carnahan. She died yesterday at the age of 90. She became the first woman to represent Missouri in the U.S. Senate in 2001 after being appointed to fill her husband's seat. Governor Mel Carnahan and their son Roger were killed in a plane crash 3 weeks before he won the election. Jean Carnahan will be buried next to her husband and son near Elsinore in a private ceremony. A public memorial will be held Saturday, February 10th at the Sheldon Concert Hall, and the family is asking for memorial contributions be made to the Carnahan Policy Institute.
The kids are not all right.
Would you like to apologize for what you've done to these good people?
A Missouri senator takes on the man behind Facebook. Tonight, the bipartisan push to make social media safer for children. A tipping point on tipping.
Everything has gotten more expensive, so how do we do that without being disrespectful?
Tonight, we're helping you make ends meet by knowing when to tip or skip.
Our next weather system is tipping more to the south, and that means the weekend rain chances may skip us. Our latest thought on Sunday's system in 7 minutes.